I went to the medical school at Director Shaw's request, only to be confronted by Angela and Lisa. Angela, in her usual arrogant fashion, tried to use what she thought was my influence to get accepted by Director Shaw. I wasn't having it. Then, my father and stepmother called, attempting their usual manipulation to get me to help Angela. Their audacity was astonishing. Why is Angela really here? Will my so-called family be a threat to my children? Will Justin protect me this time from my toxic father? Angela immediately recoiled, clutching her head in pain. "What are you doing, Nora?" she shrieked, her voice high and indignant. While Angela was still reeling, I coolly placed the strands of golden hair into a small plastic bag and slipped it into my pocket. I raised an eyebrow, my expression utterly indifferent. "What do you mean?" Angela's face contorted with fury. "You obviously pulled my hair, you little..." A flicker of impatience crossed my eyes. "Yes, and? Angela was beyond words. She stumbled back, tears welling in her eyes, her voice trembling with self-pity. "I'm going to tell Dad. You'll be sorry for this, Nora." I waved her off dismissively, turning to leave. I had no time for these childish theatrics. "Where are you going?" Angela's voice rose in panic as she saw me walking away. "Dad told you to take me to Director Shaw so we could discuss my application. Didn't he tell you?" I simply got into my car and drove off, pointedly ignoring her. This time, Angela didn't dare to obstruct my path. She stamped her foot in impotent rage and glared at the office building, her earlier confidence replaced by a simmering fury. As they were about to exit, a voice called out from behind. "Excuse me, please wait a moment. Director Shaw would like to see you." Director Shaw watched from his office window, astonishment etched on his face, as I returned to my car and drove away. Then he saw the interaction between Angela and Lisa, their voices carrying even from that distance. Athena was an internationally renowned surgeon. Her agreement to perform the operation was a significant favor, and he was still contemplating how best to express his gratitude. An idea sparked in his mind as he observed the two young women below. He quickly instructed his assistant to bring them upstairs. The usually stern and serious Director Shaw greeted Lisa and Angela with an uncharacteristic, almost boyish smile. "How are the two of you related to?" "To Miss Smith," he asked, his tone carefully casual. Angela's eyes lit up with opportunistic glee. She beamed, her voice saccharine sweet. "I'm her younger sister." Director Shaw's reaction was precisely as she'd hoped. His smile widened and his eyes sparkled with interest. "Her younger sister? Are you also a medical student?" Angela shook her head quickly, eager to seize this chance. "No, I'm not. I recently completed my undergraduate studies at the California University of Medicine. I've brought my exam results. I'm planning to apply as a postgraduate student under your esteemed tutelage this year." Director Shaw's enthusiasm grew. He eagerly picked up Angela's transcripts, his expression impressed as he scanned the pages. Director Shaw's voice was filled with praise. "Your grades are outstanding. And how did you fare in the postgraduate entrance exams?" Angela's excitement reached fever pitch. "I passed with flying colors. I'm just waiting for the interview." "Excellent, excellent," Director Shaw murmured, his gaze still fixed on her transcripts. "I'll certainly keep you in mind." Then, he turned his attention to Lisa, his smile faltering slightly. "And you are..." Before he could finish the sentence, Angela stepped directly in front of Lisa, effectively blocking her from Director Shaw's view. "She's just a classmate who came with me," Angela interjected, her voice dismissive. "Director Shaw, if you grant me this opportunity, my sister and the Andersons will be eternally grateful." Athena only needed to utter a single word, and he would gladly accept as many postgraduate students as she desired. Angela's eyes narrowed as she registered Director Shaw's reaction. She couldn't suppress a growing suspicion that the Andersons' influence, and by extension Nora's, was far more significant than she'd ever imagined. But she quickly pushed aside those doubts, focusing on her immediate goal. She forced a bright smile. "If that's all, Director Shaw, we'll be going now." He nodded, relieved to escape the awkward situation. "Of course. You'll hear from us soon regarding the interview." As soon as they exited the office, Angela's facade crumbled. She rounded on Lisa, her voice sharp and vindictive. "Why are you walking so slowly? Don't tell me you were hoping I'd introduce you to Director Shaw. Ha! Were you really that proud a few minutes ago? Didn't you preach about earning things through merit?" Lisa lowered her head, her expression pained by Angela's cruelty. You said you were Nora's younger sister just now. It's not right to use the Andersons' name without their permission. Angela's eyes flashed with anger. I am Nora's younger sister. What's the big deal if I use her name? You're just our cousin. You don't have the same right. After the two women left, Director Shaw massaged his temples, a headache throbbing behind his eyes. For some reason, he couldn't shake the unease he'd felt during his interaction with Angela. He picked up his phone and dialed my number, his voice carefully neutral. Dr. Athena, he began, just confirming the details for the operation. It's scheduled for. He went on to provide the time and location. I replied almost instantly. Understood, Director. He hesitated, then continued, his voice slightly hesitant. There's also something else I wanted to ask. Do you happen to have a younger sister named Angela? She mentioned she's applying to be my student. I paused, a flicker of surprise and annoyance crossing my face. He waited, his breath held, for my reaction. Director Shaw's call, his eagerness to please, and his almost desperate attempt to leverage Angela's application, it all felt unsettling. Why was he so invested in Angela's success? Was it genuine professional interest, or was there something else at play? And what did he expect from me in return for his help?